Today we're talking about subject pronouns, and this is a little kind of an English review for you before we start talking about the Spanish subject pronouns. Now, remember that you have to think about what a subject pronoun is. A subject is the thing that is doing the verb in the sentence. So, like, if I say, I go to the store, the subject of that sentence is I. Or if I say, Mary and Mike play chess. Mary and Mike are the subject. They are the people doing the action. They're the person or people doing the verb. And a pronoun is something that takes the place of a noun or a proper noun. So usually instead of saying Mike goes to the store, now we'll say he goes to the store. Or instead of saying Mike and Mary play chess, we're going to say they play chess. Or instead of saying you and I write the paper, we're going to say we write the paper. So a subject is the thing that's doing the action, and a pronoun is taking the place of a proper noun. So you don't always have to use somebody's proper name. So now we're talking about saying I, you, he, she, it, we, you all, and they. So you can see here, it says on your screen, subject pronouns replace the subject of a sentence. So the subject of the sentence can be I, so that's both the subject and the subject pronoun. But the subject of a sentence could be Mike, and the subject pronoun could be he. So we're talking about how to replace the subject of a sentence, Mike, Mary, Mike and Mary, with a pronoun. So how to say, instead of having to say their names over and over again, now we can say he, she, they, anything like that. So we're learning all the subject pronouns in Spanish. So you can see below, for example, number 1 says, the thief stole the expensive diamonds. What's the subject of this sentence? The thief. So to replace the thief with a subject pronoun is the thief I, you, he, she, it, we, or they. Right, it's either he or it's she. So we're going to learn how to do this in Spanish. The elegant lady walked into the hotel. What's the subject? The elegant lady. So what do we replace that with? She. That's the subject pronoun. The subject is the elegant lady, and the subject pronoun is she. So we can replace the subject, the elegant lady, with the subject pronoun she. Number 3, the green palm trees were growing abundantly. What's the subject? The green palm trees. Technically, it's just the trees, but the green palm trees. So what can we replace that with? They. We can use either one. The green palm trees is the subject. They is a subject pronoun. So we're just learning how to replace a subject with a subject pronoun. Sometimes we can't replace it. Sometimes the subject is I or you, and that's just the subject. Number 4, the lid of the box was left wide open. So the subject is the lid of the box, or just the lid, and that is it. The woman carefully wrote the letter. The woman, so we can replace that with she. Detectives kept diligent watch of the bank. Who kept watch? The detectives. So we can say they. A mouse ran all through the house. Who ran all through the house? A mouse. And so that could be it. The chimney was extremely tall. What was extremely tall? What was the thing being tall? The chimney. So we're going to replace that with it. The Titanic was an enormous ship. What was an enormous ship? The Titanic. So we're going to replace that with it. And the nature photographer films the hippopotamus. Who is filming? The nature photographers, or just the photographers, so we can replace that with they. So the thing or things or people or person doing the verb. So who is filming? Who is being? Who is running? Things like that. That is what the subject of the sentence is. Usually it's one of the first things written in the sentence, if not the first. So so that's what a subject pronoun is in English. So if you don't know what a subject pronoun is in English, if you still don't understand this concept, you need to stop the video right now, and you need to go online, and you need to research what is a subject pronoun until you really understand what that is. This is going to be something we use for a very, very, very long time in Spanish. We're going to use it for as long as you take Spanish. You're going to need to know these forever. You're going to need to know what they mean forever, as long as you take Spanish. So if you, like I said, if you don't understand what they are right now, if you're still don't understand what they are in English, then stop the video here. Go online, Google subject pronouns, and try to figure out exactly what they are and try to understand what they are. So here are the subject pronouns in Spanish, and we're going to talk about these for quite a while. So you may have to watch this video more than once to really understand what they are. So we're talking about subject pronouns. Remember, these are the things, the people that are doing the action. Right now we're talking about people. Subject pronouns, we're talking about people. So we have kind of two different categories. We've either got, remember, you were either talking in singular or you're talking in plural. So there's either one person doing the action or there's more than one person doing the action. So the subject pronouns can be split up into two categories that way. There's either, like I said, there's either one person doing the action or there's more than one person doing the action. So either I go to the store, one person, or we go to the store, more than one person. Either you go to the store, one person, or you all go to the store, one or more than one person. Either he goes to the store or they go to the store. So either one person or more than one person. And then some of you may not understand what this means, and if you don't understand it, that's okay. But try to wrap your mind around what this means. Your subject pronouns also fall into three other categories. They're either first person, second person, or third person. A lot of you know what that means. If we're speaking in first person, that means that I am part of that, part of the subject. So either I or we are doing something. Either way, I am part of this subject. I am part of the people or person or people doing the action. So first person singular is I, and in Spanish, that's the word yo. Y-O, yo. You've seen this before with yo tengo. You've seen it with yo soy. You've seen it with things like that. So if it's singular, one person, and it's first person, I am the one talking, then it's yo. If it's singular and it's second person, now when you're talking in the second person, you're talking to someone, and that should be easy to remember because second person, to. So when you're speaking in the second person, you're talking to somebody, and now you're either talking to somebody informally, one person, or you're talking about to more than one person. So if you're talking to one person, you're going to say, do you like to dance? So I'm talking to one person. In English, sometimes we don't even have to say you. We have that thing called you understood, that we just know that we're talking to somebody, that we don't have to say the word you. Sometimes you'll see a name, for example, Mike, and then you'll see a comma, and that tells you that I'm talking to somebody as well, that I'm still in the second person. So to, T-U with an accent over the U, is you. I'm talking to you. And so it's to, T-U is the subject pronoun. Sometimes instead of the subject pronoun, like I said, you'll see the name and then a comma, and that tells you that that tells us you're talking to somebody. And then the third person, when you speak in the third person, you're talking about somebody else. You're talking about them. They're not in the room usually, or maybe they're in the room, you're just talking about them. Then you're going to say he or she, which is, we've seen these two before as well. L, with an accent over the E, or ella, remember that L sounds like a Y. L or ella, which means he and she. Now, there is a special kind of an exception here, and I'm going to put a star next to usted. So we all remember that it's not really third person, but we have to put it in the third person because we have to distinguish it from to, because it also means you. Usted also means you. But remember, usted is formal. So when we're talking to, for example, Mr. Wait, we're not going to use the word tú. We're going to use the word usted. Remember, we learned this earlier. We learned, ¿Cómo estás tú? How are you, my friend, or my classmate, or my teammate? And ¿Cómo está usted? How are you, for example, Mr. Wade or Mrs. Bovey or something like that. We use usted when we want to say you formally. And we use tú when we want to say you informally. Okay? So those are all the singular subject pronouns. I, you, he, she, or you formal. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted. Then we've got the plural subject pronouns. The first person plural subject pronoun is nosotros, if it's boys, or boys and girls, or nosotras, if it's just girls we're talking about. So if it's boys or boys and girls together, we're going to use nosotros. And if it's just girls we're talking, that is the we, we're going to use nosotras, as at the end. N-O-S-O-T-R-O-A-S, sorry. N-O-S-O-T-R-A-S. Nosotras. And that means we. So if I am talking about me and Miss Allie, if I want to say we teach at Bishop McNamara, I'm going to use nosotras because Miss Allie and I are both girls. But if I'm talking about me and Mr. McLean, I would say nosotros because he is a boy and I am a girl. We teach at Bishop McNamara, nosotros, or Miss Allie and I, nosotras, we. Now, if we want to talk to you, but we want to talk to you and somebody else, we want to talk to more than one person. That's plural because we're talking to more than one person. So we're going to use this word vosotros. Again, vosotros if it's a boy or a boy and a girl, or vosotras if it's just girls. And that means you all. But this is also special. So I'm going to put a box like this around this one. And it is special because it is only used in Spain. It's the only place we use it is in Spain. A lot of people here are going to say, well, why are we learning it? Because it's important. It's very important to learn this. Spain is a major country. A lot of people study there. A lot of people come from there to the U.S. So we need to know the vosotros form. So if we want to say you all, hey, are you all going to the movies? We're going to use vosotros. If we want to talk to our friends, hey, are you all going to the movies? Vosotros? Are you all going to the movies? Remember, again, this is only used in Spain. So if on your quiz or a test or anything like that, you see you all Spain or SP even, you know that we're talking about vosotros because it's only used in Spain. It's the only one of our subject pronouns that is exclusive to a country, but vosotros is important to still learn, and you will use it throughout the 4 years or however long you take Spanish. Now, the plural third person. Now we said he is singular, so now to make that plural, we're going to say ellos, E-L-L-O-S, which means they, masculine. Now, O-S, O-S, just like vosotros and nosotros, if it's a boy or a boy and a girl or boys and girls, you're going to use ellos to say they. If it's more than one person, you're talking about them, it's ellos. If you're talking if you're talking about just girls, you're going to use ellas. So if I was talking about Maria and Martha, I would say ellas. That's feminine. Remember, just like our adjectives, feminine, masculine, singular, plural. Okay? And then finally, we have this word ustedes, and I am going to make a mark like that too, just like I did with usted. Because ustedes is how you say you all everywhere else but Spain. Anywhere else, anytime you want to say you all, whether it's formal or informal, you're going to use ustedes, anywhere but Spain. But in Spain, ustedes is formal for you all. So, if we were in Spain and we wanted to talk to a couple of friends, we would use vosotros. And if we were in Spain and we wanted to talk to some teachers, we would use ustedes. But if we were in Mexico, we would to talk to a couple of friends, we would just use ustedes. And to talk to a couple of teachers, we would use ustedes. Okay, so vosotros is the only used in Spain, and that's how you say you all informally there. Anything else, you're going to use ustedes, which means you all.